Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Footy Banter and Insights. Right now, we're going to do a full game week review. We'll start off with the early kickoff, which was the West Ham versus Chelsea game. So, Ishan, I'd love to hear your views on the same.
Yeah, I think good win, definitely solid win, back to back clean sheets is always good. I think what I'm liking the most about Maresca as a manager is that every player individually is improving a lot. Uh, During this season, I would not judge Chelsea on their league positions or on that too much, but how each and every player is improving, and I think we have seen a lot of players come a long way. For example, a Nicholas Jackson, his finishing, his decision making, his kind of the runs has improved a lot. Moses Caicedo is also coming to party a lot. I feel last year we were too dependent on Cole Palmer as an attacker, and I think we are kind of putting the pressure from the left side as well. Right now he's playing more as a 10 and he's being fouled a lot by the other team players, which he was not initially in the last season. So I think we need more outlets to attack, and which we are finding it in the right way. More, I think there's a scope of improvement in defense department definitely. Colville has been solid, no complaints about him. Even Kukureya, I think off the ball and on the ball, both his runs have been amazing. Even while defending, he's been too good since he has come back from the Euros. Uh, Tosin was very good yesterday. I think once Malo Gusto or Reece James come back, Maresca has a huge headache whether to play Wesley Fofana or Tosin. Tosin brings in a lot of physicality and height, and he was very good at passing as well. Distribution wise, he was quite good. So I was impressed with that. Enzo again, a quiet performance, not a bad one, not a good one, but a quite good average performance. So no complaints, but nothing impressive also. Sancho again was quite good. I think he got a free assist. He hardly contributed anything to that goal. But how Nicholas Jackson scored that early goal within 3 or 4 minutes changed the game entirely. I think West Ham opened up quite a bit because of that, and then we kept attacking and we got the rewards for that. So I think it was a defensive mistake initially from West Ham, and I don't think they were quite into the match initially, and they got punished, and that's why we. I one complaint that I have that was that Jao Felix and Nkunku when they came in, they should have scored 1 or 2 goals easily. Nkunku's header had to be a goal. Like there are no excuses. And yesterday, fortunately, we were in a comfortable position, but we should be closing these matches like 4-0 final when opposition is playing so badly. So no complaints, good signs of improvement. Hope we build on the confidence and get better from here.
So, I have a couple of comments. One, Chelsea have made it three wins out of three away from home. They have got two back-to-back clean sheets, which has been very rare over the last couple of years. And on the other side, West Ham start the season with three consecutive losses at home for the first
Yeah,
time. And
yeah,
under a experienced manager like Loptegi, someone who has signed so many players, he's not been able to get the best out of his team yet early on. And if I look at the Chelsea performance yesterday, I think in certain phases, our attack was really, really good. One touch passing movements, as Ishan mentioned, many of the players seem to be knowing their roles much better. Maresca
yeah,
is improving a lot of players. Uh, Jackson's early goal played a huge part in opening up the
yes,
West Ham game. And I think if I look at it from an overall perspective, a lot of encouraging signs for Chelsea, but uh, it will be a long season. Like I don't
yes.
see Chelsea being dominant or they winning games so easily. I think yesterday the early goal helped. Otherwise, this could have easily been a 1-1 or a 2-2 at the end because our defense is still very, very
Fragile.
immature. Yes, very fragile in terms of
Yeah.
handling the opposition. So, but good as a Chelsea fan, good to see a win over the weekend. And anytime when United drop points is also a good weekend for us. So, with that in mind, we'll take the conversation to the next game, which is the Palace versus United game. So,
I think
Rahul, I'd
West
like,
Ham. One last point I want to add.
yeah.
I think West Ham are missing a player like James Ward-Prowse. when they loaned him to Nottingham Forest, I think he should have been kept, and the kind of qualities he could have brought in, like a nice set piece, game from West Ham or something. I think they had too many corners yesterday against Chelsea. Few moments here and there can change the game entirely. So Thomas Suchek, Edson Alvarez, Guido Rodriguez, all of them are like very similar type of players. I think Ward-Prowse would have added a lot more quality to this West Ham side.
So in that aspect, one comment which I came across was that West Ham have the oldest outfield squad right now at 29 years of age, whereas
Hmm.
Chelsea has the youngest outfield squad at 23 years of age.
Yeah.
And if you look at yesterday, specifically from a tactical perspective, Edson Alvarez was the one who essentially gave Nicholas Jackson the opportunity on both counts. So
Yes.
he just couldn't keep up with Nicholas Jackson's pace, and I think that uh, marking did not work in their favor. So it was good for us, but we were, I think, tactically a little bit better than them.
And UV, another thing is that my observation is in last 3-4 games, whenever I have followed statistics, we have consistently outperformed our expected goals, which
Mm.
has always been the problem for Chelsea. We always underperformed in last 2 seasons where we have struggled. We have always underperformed our XG, especially Nicholas Jackson also. Right, last 3-4 games I have seen that we are outperforming by a very good margin also, but too early to see. But these are the signs of improvement which you are looking to see from a team who is in transition.
Perfect. So let's move on to the next game, which is the Palace versus the United game. So Rahul, we'd love to know your views on the game.
I think so. Palace versus United was probably the best performance United have had under Ten Hag, especially the first 70 minutes. It was first time where a style of play was clear. You could see what United are doing. You could see the progress. Probably from the league table, it is not seen, but as a United fan, I think so. Majority of them will agree that there is progress this season, and there is a style of play which is coming in. Whether he can translate it further is a question mark, which will be answered throughout the season. One thing like last year, majority of the matches we used to have less possession, less than 50% possession. This year, 5 out of 5 we have had more possession than the other team. Even the Liverpool match, we had more possession than Liverpool. So the progress is there, the style of play is there, but somehow that finishing, that maybe a bit of luck is missing. One thing where definitely Ten Hag needs improvement is in-game management. Somehow, post the subs, the team instead of improving is getting worse. So that is somewhere where he is to blame, or he has to learn and evolve, and hopefully he can do that. Because the
But
Xerxes sub really spoiled the game for us. After that, we could not control the game at all, and that is from where we hardly created anything. So that is somewhere where we need improvement. But as a United fan, I'm happier this season because hopefully we can see a good future.
So a
Rahul
couple
bhai,
of questions. I'll just ask a couple of questions and then you can add the comments. So one, uh, there was a clear case of a penalty incident in the box in the United game, right? Did you actually think that United would get the penalty? Like I think Crystal Palace, there was a handball incident, right?
Yeah, but that was, I don't think so, a penalty.
No? Okay.
Handball, I don't think so. Currently, this year, I think the Premier League have made it quite clear that the handball has to be pretty blatant to be given a penalty. They would give a leeway. So that
Okay.
is fair enough ruling. I don't think so. That I think so.
And
Martinez was lucky actually. The
okay.
challenge, the tackle was the red card tackle. If you've probably seen that, I don't think so. That tackle made any sense. It was very risky and very naive.
Okay. And the second one is how has the United gameplay changed under Ten Hag this season? Like when you say the patterns of play, like how are they going to attack, or what is the difference which is there in this season compared to last season?
This season, I think so. The possession style is much better. People are much more patient on the ball. They are not rushing it. Achha, Xerxes has made a huge difference because of his link-up play. The control has improved for United. Even Ahmad on the wing. Basically, we used to have Garnacho and Rashford, who were both similar kind of players. Like they like to take on the defender and then cross or try and shoot. Ahmad gives a better control because he has the game where he just he can slow down the game, he can quicken up the pace. So that overall things have improved for United a lot this season. One thing which I think so we need to find a solution is for we play much better with Ericsson in there, because Ericsson is the one who can pass the ball ahead at the right time, but he doesn't have the legs. So we need to find a better Ericsson maybe, who can just control the game for us and allow us this movement.
So
Just a
Rahul,
couple
few
of so I
questions.
was yeah, Ishan, go ahead.
No, मैं बोलता हूँ ना.
So I was watching the game with Manan yesterday, right? I mean, I think United started off really well. The first 40 minutes, it was all United, right? They had two or three great chances. I think Garnacho hit the post, and on the follow-up, they missed the chance as well. I think they were doing really, really well in the first half. But I think in the second half, I think their performance just went down. And I don't know why would that happen in, like, I don't know what happened in the dressing room or what happened when they came out. I think in the second half it was a very even game between Palace and United. Even Palace had a few really, really good chances in the second half to go ahead. So I think, and as the game moved on, it seemed like Palace had a better chance to score than United had a chance to score. Right? Even like how Rahul mentioned, like even after the subs came on, it was, I think Palace were more in the ascendancy than United were in the ascendancy. And I think at some level they need to kind of resolve this, because that should not be happening. United team in general is much better than Palace, and then if you are at a nil-nil kind of a score down, you need to have that domination in the last 20 minutes to kind of put pressure on the opposition, which was not the case yesterday. I think Bruno, I think he was just a bit too wasteful yesterday. I mean, the percent of risky passes that he plays, and of course, Manan actually pointed that out as well while we were watching. He plays too many risky passes. That's his game, but I think that kind of makes a situation where United cannot have a sustained period of control or pressure over the opposition, right? So I think couple of these points they need to iron out kind of to improve from here on.
So I have a theory. I have Bruno Fernandes in my FPL team since the start of the season, and I have jinxed him very royally because since then he has given me only 2 to 3 points every game.
Keep him in there,
I think he's a very good FPL player to have in your team, because as I'm saying, right, he takes so many risky passes that he's bound to give you assists, right? But in a team, when you're looking at it from a United team and how they play, when you are playing so many risky passes and so many passes with like low percentage kind of attached to them, you don't end up having control over the game. You keep giving the ball to the opposition, which is very destructive for the rhythm of the game, or if you want to put a pressure on the opposition.
I actually have a counterpoint on that. I don't think so Bruno has been that wasteful this season.
I'm not talking about the season, but yesterday's game specifically, because Manan was there and he was specifically pointing out each and every pass that like Bruno was trying to make, and then kind of not making it kind of a thing, right? And the probability of him making that pass, it's too less, according like what we were discussing as well at that point.
Get your point. Bruno has been like that, but this season I think so he's been much more patient, because I think so that's probably an instruction coming in from the management. But according to me, his game has really been poor this season till now. Because of that transition, maybe whether he can get that transition complete and become that patient player or not, I don't know. That's going to be a big question mark for United, because I think so Bruno is not performing to his level, because the way we want to play, the original Bruno game cannot work. Like you're saying, you cannot take that risk-taking pass every time because you will not have the control. And United are wanting to move towards a more controlled game. So Bruno is playing a little bit restricted. And for me, he has been very under par this season till now. Whether he can convert himself into that player or not, that's a big question mark.
Rahul, a few questions. You spoke a lot about style of play. I'm going to be a little critical on United. This is Ten Hag's third season. Why are we still talking about not being clear about his style of play till now? First. And secondly, till how much time is United going to back him? Because he's been dropping points. Until what point, like, are you as a United fan confident on him to take United to the elite level, or you want him to get some more time? I believe this is his third season. First season, you guys were third with him. Second season, United was eighth. Right now, do you see how much more time he can get? And I see you talking a lot more about style of play being good, it's improving, but there's no clear style of play in my opinion. And it's his third season, he has gotten fair amount of time. Why
I
not?
think, I think so. This season, if you follow United matches, you will see there is a drastic improvement. Definitely, last season was very bad, and Ten Hag, see, there's a question mark. I'm not saying that no, he is gonna take us to the next level or not, but I genuinely feel giving him time was the right decision this season because there was no better option. And with the fact that the structure has changed, you have to give it a shot because without the structure, footballing structure, if you don't have the person at the top who is good, I don't think so anyone below him can work at his best. So now,
Hmm.
once you have a proper structure in place, it makes sense to give him some time. This season, in the first 5 games, there has been an improvement. Whether that improvement continues is a question mark. Whether the in-game management improves is a question mark. Overall, probably 5, 10 games down the line, we'll be in a much better position to judge where he will end up.
No, I think in the third season when the manager is still there and we are still asking for, looking for improvement, I think the modern day football doesn't allow you so much of time.
I think so. Arteta is a better example, if you can ask. So I think so. The first 2 seasons were not that great with him.
Not really. Uh, I think the second season was pretty decent under Arteta.
I don't think so. We qualified for the Champions League in the second season.
I'll have to revisit this stat, but I think he did pretty well. It's just one uh, period of losses that we had in the first 3 or 4 games in one of the seasons where he was under pressure. But I think apart from that, it was not that bad for him, kind of. And there was this. That's what I'm saying. Like a small period where after the first 3 games we were in the relegation zone or something like that, and that's when the pressure was on him. But apart from that, I think
I think second season is the one where they required very few points in last 3 4 games and then they kept losing, and that's where the documentary was made. I think Oba was in his second season when he left.
correct. So
So
yeah,
that season, Arsenal didn't qualify for the Champions League. Rahul Bhai is right.
yeah, but they didn't. It wasn't as if we were very unhappy with Arteta in general. Like I think we could see as Arsenal fans how like where the team was going at that point. So as I was saying, like apart from the 3 4 games, I don't think Arsenal fans ever had a doubt with Arteta, and that was if that was his second season, that's fine, and it was his
Hmm.
first full season, I think. So and apart his next season, I think we were great after that, right? So
Then
um,
you guys were second.
yeah, so it wasn't kind of. I think his third season was amazing, to be honest. So
Let's see. I think United fans will grow impatient even if you see progress, but if that doesn't convert into performances and wins, most importantly, then naturally United fan will become a bit more impatient.
See, if you see consistent performances, eventually that will convert into results, right?
yeah. See,
What is the problem is if the performance is not good, and even if you're getting the result, which was probably his first season, it was never sustainable. It was never sustainable. The third, which we ended up finishing, it was not sustainable because the performances were not there, and that is where the second season came in, and we finished eighth. If the performance is there, if the style of play is better, then eventually I think so. The result is something which will take care of itself.
So you think Thomas Tuchel was not a bit better replacement to Ten Hag? When you said there was not a good replacement available, you don't think
I would
Thomas
not have
Tuchel
been
is better?
excited. I would not have been excited.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
I hear Southgate is still available though.
I don't think so. Any of that.
Or a Conte?
So,
No, Conte bhi nahi.
I absolutely don't want to contact. Absolutely.
is there any other comment on the Man U Palace game from yesterday? Rahul, Varun,
I
Ishan?
think 2 points dropped by United. I think,
Definitely.
uh,
Definitely do.
Yeah, it's going to be a close run-in for the fourth place, and I
I think
think
so.
Yeah,
This year, quite a few teams, especially Chelsea, I
yeah,
saw their match. They were pretty impressive. Chelsea are
correct.
doing well. Aston Villa are getting results out of nowhere,
Yeah,
yeah.
coming back and keep on getting that win. Tottenham also apparently performed very well against Brentford.
Mm.
So the teams are really improving. So the top four is going to be a fight. Hopefully,
Even Newcastle has been doing well. Until yesterday, they were doing really well, and you can see their position on the table.
hopefully
They
all
are
the
also
development
serious
teams
contenders.
do their work and we get the fifth spot, man.
so it's just that, will it see, it's a very big thing for a team like United, correct, to be out of Champions League for multiple seasons, right? So can Ineos and the Glazers take another year of United not being in the Champions League? I don't think that will be kind of acceptable to
I
them.
think
And
next
that's where the
next
pressure on
7 to 8 games will be
exactly,
make it or break it for Eric
exactly,
Ten
and
Hag.
that's
I
where the
don't
pressure
see
will
him
grow
getting
Ten
more
Hag.
time.
Just
Yeah,
one comment on the Ineos ownership. I think from whatever little I have read about Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos group, they are more patient and they are long-term people with long-term goals. I don't see, unless there is something drastically wrong happening in terms of how they want the team to be managed, I don't see them taking a call just based on results. They will give it time, they will give the manager time to enforce his ideas, and I think I don't think really Champions League revenues are something which United really need. If you look at their commercial income right now, they're still amongst the top in world football. So I think they are still a team which can do without Champions League revenue. In fact, Champions League revenue is more crucial for teams like Chelsea who do not have the best commercial income in place. So I think for United, I think it's still sustainable for a couple of years more, as long as the manager doesn't lose the team and the ownership dies.
I agree on you on that because I think so. Everywhere it was clear that Ineos see this as a 3-year project. It is a 3-year project, which way they think that post that we should be challenging. So they are going to be patient. I don't see, even if we don't qualify for the Champions League, it's 100% guarantee that Ten Hag will be sacked. If there is improvement in performances, or we can see that the direction which we want to move in, we are moving in that direction, I think so they will be patient. But if there are more performances like the Liverpool one where we are just not there, then probably the decision will be made. But I genuinely believe this season, and on the Champions League front also, I think so. We have been pretty good on the wages this year. On the transfer market, we have gotten rid of quite a big chunk of our big owners. So we comfortably are in a good position in PSR. So we can be patient. Let's see.
I think commercially there's no big challenge, but I think managing fans'
yeah,
expectation is going to be a big challenge for new ownership to come in. Like fans have expectations from Ineos, see that they will turn the table, and they were not happy with Glazers, and there was a gleam of like ray of hope from Ineos that they will come in and change the direction of the club and everything over there. I think infrastructurally they are doing a lot of job. If I'm right, Rahul, by they are changing the facilities and upgrading them to a much elite level. But managing fans' expectation is very difficult, especially for new football owners also. So
But
being patient with the manager is like having said that they have a 3-year vision and all. It's very easy to say, but when things don't go your way in the first 10 to 15 games for the manager who's been there for already 2 seasons, it will be tough time. If I hope it doesn't happen, but
things not
if,
going your way is the point, right? What would be considered as things not going up? It is if the results are not coming, probably eventually see if the performances are good and still the results don't come, that's a very rare situation. Either the performances improve and continue improving, then I think so the patience will be there even if the results go here and there, one or two results go here and there. But if the performances only don't improve, then probably they can pull the trigger. But I still don't think so before December anything will happen. They will be patient, they will give him some time.
yeah, like that's why I said 7 to 10 games. I think is the good time for Eric Ten Hag to, really prove something. I don't see him getting much more time. ठीक है.
So let's do a wrap up of the remaining results quickly. So, like we mentioned a little bit earlier, Villa got a big win against Wolves. Uh, Fulham had a surprise victory against Newcastle. Uh, Leicester and Everton drew 1-1. Liverpool had a convincing home win against Bournemouth.
Yes,
Spurs had a great win against Brentford. I
Brentford.
think, yeah, Rahul pointed it out that they played really well in that game as well. And Southampton drew 1-1 with Ipswich. I think today, apart from the big game, Brighton lost an opportunity to really, go a little bit higher in the table. Drawing at home to Nottingham Forest, I think, in a way, is 2 points dropped for them.
So
And
Nottingham Forest is coming up in a good way. Like they beat Liverpool at Anfield, and then they have drawn with Brighton
they're at the
at
same points now.
yeah. Like Nottingham Forest could be a dark horse this season. Like the way
I
they are
think so that
performing.
Nottingham Forest this year has been very good defensively. Actually, we
Hmm.
have that perception of Nottingham Forest of the previous management, where the defense was absolutely nowhere to be seen. But this year, under the new management, I think so the defense have been
I
pretty
think
solid.
Marilo is the guy who is the Brazilian centre back. Who's even Chelsea was linked to him, and he seems to be a good defender.
So after game week 3, we've got, I think, the usual suspects on top. We've got City, Liverpool, Villa, and Arsenal. And we've got a surprise number 5 in Chelsea, where we were not hoping that they would be there, but happy to see that. So, hoping that this trend continues next week as well. Any final thoughts around the game week, guys?
I think next couple of weeks it'll be really interesting to see United because I think they're playing
Mm.
Spurs and then I think they're playing
Yeah.
Villa.
Oh,
So
love it.
Tough,
It's
tough
And
gonna,
games.
it's gonna be
so
amazing.
exactly right. So I think ईशान 7-8 गेम वीक्स बोल रहा है. I think थोड़ा 2 हफ्ते में ही थोड़ा क्लियर
We
हो
might see Ruud van Nistelrooy as the interim manager soon.
but yeah, let's see. I mean, I hope Ten Hag kind of fixes the situation over there. But yeah,
Innately, we'd never hope for that to happen. We don't hope for that to happen.
I
We
mean,
all want to see United go down.
yeah, that's why I hope Ten Hag to be there.
I think Guardiola pulled off the biggest trick. FA Cup जीतने दो for the greater good.
take one for the league.
But great, guys. Great, guys. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, share, and do leave your thoughts on how the game week was. Thank you.